I had to make the most out of what I got. So
Well, dude, I really don't even need to introduce you because if everybody listening, this is my cousin, Nate. I've talked so much about. Dude, I've mentioned some stories, man. First story that I know you can confirm on this is when I first met you, I was afraid to, I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to understand you because I didn't know what pigeon was. And then I was like,
yeah,
so does he speak English? And then you're like, oh, yeah. But the funniest thing you've ever said was when my mom asked you, what do you want to eat? And you said, no, I'm full on aloha. Thank you. And everyone
yeah,
in the car just stopped and looked at you like, what did you just say to
yeah. I just mean like again, aloha is something that we say in Hawaii. Also mean love. Like you know what I mean. I'm a type of person. I don't eat much. As you can see, I'm only 125 pounds, if that. Like fucking with my pants on, with all my clothes on, 125 pounds. But I don't know. I just don't really like eating like I should. You know what I mean? But also I like keeping my thing cuts when I do surf. But it's hard for people to compete and paddle with me and like think they
Yeah,
can
I
hang
know.
in
Our
there.
grandmom tried to buy you a belt because of the fact that you were walking down with your pants sagging so low. Everybody could see your V cut and they saw your bush. I was like, oh, bruh. But you introduced me to one of the most, like, I guess, influential foods, I would say. Like, I even try and make these back home. Spam musubi, dude.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I've never had something so delicious in a packed, I guess, convenient-sized roll. And that's what she said.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like those things are great to eat. So I'm saying like, and it's easy to make. So I'm happy that you still enjoying them to this day because like I still enjoy them to this day too. That's like the go-to snack in Hawaii. Like if you know Hawaii, you know spam musubis. That's automatic.
Yeah,
You know how we do.
what's crazy is the fact that, like, we're family, but we really never, like, there was just like there was a little bit a couple of years when we were kids that we hung out, and then we didn't
Yeah,
get to hang out for like 6 or 7 years until we like around like 16, 17 when I went to Hawaii for the first time we met. And it's like the weird to see the shift. Like you're all into surfing, it's completely different lifestyle to see how you've grown up compared to me. It's like watching two kids and then just separate them at birth or something and seeing how like
yeah,
you place one in like a crazy environment and another one in a different environment to watch
yeah.
them grow into something.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm happy that you're doing this podcast stuff because I know one day you're gonna be real famous. So, like, you know what I mean? And yeah, I know surfing. You know, like surfing is like one of those things. Like I said, it keeps me sane. Like I do it more for like you know what I mean, more for like medical purposes. If you were to say like keep me in the right state of mind. If it wasn't for surfing, shit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it's
so you
always
you could give some experience on the barrel, for instance, like going inside of a barrel. I heard that's like if you get to experience that, it's like the best form of therapy. It seems like there's no outside really forces that are kind of going through your head.
oh yeah. When I get barreled, like my mind is just like straight, like just in my own. I'm like even farther in my own world to where, like you said, all my thoughts cleared, and I'm just like like I wouldn't say baffled, but just like baffled on the beautiful sight. So I'm saying you're just like speechless and just like taking in every second. It's not even really in seconds because it happens kind of quickly. So I'm saying like being in a barrel, like they're like, oh I mean, I get barreled. I know people are like, oh, I get barreled on bodyboards and like, even that's in short breaks. Getting barreled is personally, my opinion, is when you pull in and come out. So I'm saying anybody can pull into a closeout. Like, if you come out the barrel, and fuck, you know what I mean? I would say it's a barrel. Like, even to myself, like, at times I'll get the most mentalist, like, barrel fucking of the day, like, maybe even like week, month, even like, but I fall at the end off. You know what I mean? Like I would be like, I ain't no complete wave. I cannot say it's. I mean, like yes, it was a nice barrel and all that, but like I fell at the end. It ain't complete. So you know what I mean? It's a 2-point ride in the judge's eyes.
Well, dude, you get to experience freaking so much that people just miss out on. Like for me, for instance, not surfing or anything, but people talk about memorable moments and a lot of like those moments where like you're looking at nature like, fuck, like
Yeah.
this is the best thing ever. You experience that on like a daily basis. Like if you had to pull one that you really remember out of your head, what would it be?
That is a really good question. I had so many, but I had like it was probably like maybe 6, 7 years ago. It was a long time ago. Me and my pops were surfing. I don't want to disclose the spot because after I don't need anymore. But like it's a very smooth spot. Let me just say it's on the south shore of Oahu, just to make it very like. And it was a northwest swell wrapping, and it was like 20, 30 feet Hawaiian. So it was like a huge swell. They're like in wrapped into the solid. It was probably like 6, 8 feet, all booming. Like me, my dad, two other guys, like three other guys out, mental waves. Like, and I mean like look like Indonesia. Like you paddle out, and it's so big now that you're like, fuck, maybe I should have brought a bigger board. But like, you know what I mean? At the same time though, you're like, I'm in town, and I can manage. Or you get out, and the sets just like coming in, and you just see everybody looks at everybody's faces. Is everybody just like seeing ghost type shit because they're fucking like marching in like 20 at a time, like. But I mean, like when they like when you do get one of them though, is the most greatest feeling in the. You know what I mean? Like when you do get away that is like that like big or like hollow, whatever. Like fuck, it's life changing in a way. Like going and doing a turn, going that fast, and like switching direction, and just like feeling the speed. Like I used to ride dirt bikes, so going fast on a dirt bike is super sick. Like going fast on a surfboard is like feel like you're in a whole new realm. It's kind of like snowboarding in a way. So I'm saying, but instead of being on the snow to where you don't have to hold your breath. You know what I mean? You're where there's a wall of water behind you to where punishment is a
Well, it
fucking.
taught you to be like freaking almost fearless, at least in my eyes. Remember the first time I went down to Hawaii and we were standing, what's it called? The wall, that giant.
Yeah. And I was
Yeah. And you're
jumping into
like,
like 2 feet of water.
we're standing literally right over this thing and you have to time the wave perfectly to jump in
Yeah.
or you'll hit coral. And you're like
Yeah,
telling me, you're like,
exactly. It's
I'll
only like
jump.
3 feet, four. It's like 3.5 feet deep. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I'll jump if you jump. And I'm sitting there thinking that you're like a lot of people that I know that it's going to be, they're going to fake it. So
Yeah, exactly.
we get this running start to go jump off this thing. And then right before like the edge or whatever, I stopped and you went and I was like, and I was like, oh my God, I just killed my cousin. And it was like, so many things were rushing through my head, but I remember
I
what
come up
Michael,
laughing. Yeah.
yeah, well, what Michael said to me, he's like, I knew you wouldn't jump. You're too much of a sissy. I'm like, you weren't going to do it. And he goes, yeah, but I admitted to it. And then the second trip back, so when we
Yeah.
finally came back a second time, I told you, I was like, this is the first thing I'm doing as soon as I get off the
Yeah.
airplane. So I got right off the airplane. As soon as we got back to the hotel room, I walked straight to the beach. I was like, I'm doing it. You're like, all right, cuz,
Yeah.
you're going to do it. And I was like, I am going to do it. And I just went right
Yeah.
off. Didn't even think about it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not thinking that's the special. That's the special thing about doing shit like that is like thinking. So I'm saying if you think too much, that's where you mean get hurt or like you know what I mean. Like what's that called? A hesitate. Hesitating is where like
Yeah.
when anything ocean related gets you so messed up. Like I was surfing like I would say maybe a week ago. Not even that. Maybe like 4 or 5 days ago, and I was having a pretty good session. Like I was surfing no leash. It was probably like 3 feet, 4 feet. And like I'm probably an hour and a half into the session, I like went on this little one, like on the inside. And I remember thinking too, I was like, I like go left. But I was like kind of too far on the shoulder to go left because I was at the end of the left already. It was like a very like a little 8 frame wave. So I couldn't like really have much choice of which way to go. So I had to go right. I went right and I don't really like pulling and grabbing rail. So I pulled in, I grabbed rail a little and I like kicked out the back, got sucked over the falls and slammed on the reef. And I mean I got let's just say the reef is very unfriendly at times, and I got fucking laid out. I got
Dude,
splattered on the reef.
I
Like the
learned from
fucking
just being down there for a little bit, it can be unforgiving. When we jumped off the wall, for instance, I was like, how the hell am I going to get back? You got to time the wave so the coral doesn't scrape your stomach when you're
exactly, no,
swimming back.
exactly.
And I'm sitting there like screaming at you, like, I'm not doing it. You're like, why? And I'm like, cuz if I swim back to shore, if you notice, there's eels inside of the thing. And the
Oh
worst
yeah,
thing that was coming through my mind is like, if my dick hangs down, then it's just going to snip it right off like a hot dog. And you're like, no, that won't happen. Don't think like that. Don't think like that. I'm like, how can you
yeah.
not think like that?
Yeah, I was like, nah. Like that's the thing about eels, though. They're like, yeah, man. Unless you putting your foot inside their hole type shit. You mean like you come bothering them, they won't bother you. Like at times, I'll be surfing, coming in, like where I climb up the rocks, the jetties, like they got eels. You mean like live there, like everyday type shit. You mean like no cap, unless people fishing and pulling them out. With even they probably fishing them, no one's moving type shit. But they're always eels in those rocks, and I had like probably like 100, 200, 300 times that like it was a shit ton of times that I seen like eel just pop their head out like as I'm pulling up, like right before I'm about to climb up. Like and it's like one of those things like yeah, they bite. Don't get me wrong. I have people that be like, "Oh, I just got bit by an eel." Like paddle out, to tell me, "Oh, I just got bit by an eel."
I lost a
Be
finger.
careful. Yeah, that was not like I lost a finger, but like he was like, "Oh, he latched on for like 2 minutes." Fucking, I was whacking up against a rock or something. Then he finally like let go or something. I was like, "That's funny." I was like, "Shit, that's a." That sounds like a fucking you problem. He's like, dude, whatever you do, be careful. It's like, fuck, I ain't tripping.
Have you
That's,
ever had like a really bad experience, like an injury or something?
Oh yeah. I had a few. I broke my nose surfing on the west side, like in the evening time too. So everybody I was surfing with was not too happy with me on that day because I like paddled back out. It was like 6:30, probably like almost 7 p.m. Paddled back out and I had a bloody nose, but I never knew. Like I like I like to caught a wave and I never had a leash. I kicked out and I like catch a lot of waves in the way. So I seen like this little one come through. I was probably like 30 yards from the beach. I was like, I'm gonna catch this. And I was like, yo, this thing's gonna barrel. That was so funny. I turned around, like not even like one stroke, like a half stroke type shit into it. Pull in, like I think it might have been a laid back barrel. I usually do laid back barrels when I pull in backside. I like and as I like kicked out, I like had my hand on my rail and I never had a leash. So I like let go of my board and I started to swim up. And where I was surfing at backwash, the board got wedged, like jammed right into my nose and broke my nose. And I like it watered my eyes, but I was like, fuck. I was more like, God damn it, like more like agitated than anything. I was like, fuck, hopefully my nose is good. I didn't
Yeah.
really like pay that much attention to the thought. Like, paddle back out, and like I get back out, and everybody's like tripping. They're like, oh, your nose. I was like, my nose is fine. What do you mean? You know what I mean? I was doing this, making sure the fuck was straight, the fuck was good. Like, they're like, they're like, you got like, I was like, when they did this, I was like, oh no.
You
I
got
like
blood
looked at it, I
dripping
had
down.
blood all on my chest and my face, everything. I like went off. And I'm over to like wash my face off in the water.
You know, what's funny is that so many people, if they would have experienced something like that, that would have stopped them from doing that forever. But then that just only kept you from going. It didn't stop you at all. You just kept going right back out.
Yeah. That's the thing. I actually had one incident to where I almost drowned, and I mean, I pretty much did drown. I like the only reason I saved myself because I guess I'm a fucking beast, and I like I was like, no way in hell I'm going out like that. No, I like drank probably like no cap 3 gallons of water that day. I was like coughing and fucking yeah, huffing and puffing fucking foam. But I was 11 years old, and at the same place too, I broke my nose. So I was like, you know what I mean? I kind of like that time it messed me up mentally, and I like hated that spot. Like I didn't hate surfing, but I hated that spot. I would never ever go. You know what I mean? Like I even the next year I was 11 years old. The next year it was like a Grom contest, aka like for little kids. I like went and I sat in the channel. I'm be 100. Like I'm a real nigga, but I sat in the channel. Like fuck, I couldn't. Like you know what I mean? That shit was too much for me. Like my mind was. I was like, fuck, I hate this. I'm gonna like you know what I mean? It was half a foot. I was like, fuck this place. I was like, shit, I ain't ready for all this. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
I'm honest with myself. I know what I can even know I can handle, and at that point, I was still fucking shook. Like a year later, so I'm saying a year later, and like, I'll go back to that story though. So I was like surfing, and it was huge. It was so big that they canceled the contest. That exact same contest, but the year before they canceled it because it was that big for the kids. It was too big. It was probably like 8, 10 feet. Like yo, so I'm saying like yo, I'm 11 years old surfing fucking 20 foot fucking waves in a way. Like I'm like, I
Yeah.
was expecting to like get messed up because I'm a motor. That was at the time when I like rode dirt bikes. I was more of a motocross rider. I was, you know what I mean? Like I like yeah, I like surf, but I was not super into it. So like all my other friends, they was surf every day type vibes. So my friends was like the Moni's family, like a bunch of us like pro surfers now. Like they was like, oh, we go surf. I remember looking, I was like fuck, like whatever,
I
like
think
if,
what's awesome is that like when I got to visit was like I had a secret into the island, which was you, because like I would be like, dude, this place is amazing. Let's stay here. You're like, nah, this is a tourist cuz we're gonna go down over here. And I'm like, what? And
yeah,
it's like this secret hideaway with like all these locals that people like you know that know you that are all friends of yours and stuff. And they're looking at me like, who is this guy that you just let into our group? And you're like, nah, he's family. It's like, okay. And then
yeah.
like but it was a different experience, man. I mean, I got to see so many beautiful sights, and you scared the shit out of me when I didn't know what a man of war was. And then he started explaining it to me. I'm like, why would you ever get into the water? Like, why would you ever want to experience that?
The funniest thing about Man of Wars. Let me explain to you something about Man of Wars.
Don't get them on your
I
dick.
no, exactly. Getting them on the dick is I actually got stung on the dick once, and let me just say that is the most unpleasant, however the fuck you say it, most shittiest fucking thing that could possibly fucking happen. I would rather be shot in my fucking goddamn arm, like with a fucking 12 gauge shot, yo. God, like that's how shitty it was. Like my dick was tweaking and spazzing. The fucking shit was like Like I was like tripping out. I was like the thing. I'll be like cruising. It would stop bothering me. Oh, the thing was spazzing out. I'll be like, oh no fucking way. I was like, oh, this has got me fucked up.
It's
And
like a
like
jellyfish thing. It just comes in freaking waves.
exactly. Then I went to the lifeguard too. It happened like 7, 8 a.m. So I went to the lifeguard. I was like, what? I got stung by a mantle. I'm so funny, Tom. I was saying it. I remember with a smile. Wow, I got stung by a man of war. I borrow some cream. I think I get some fucking man of war cream somewhere.
Piss on my dick.
Some,
Piss on my.
yeah. It's like, oh, where you got stung? And there's like right as I was saying, it's like, oh, but by the way, too, this is some like spearmint, like even like some fucking like minty. I was like, so you can't put it like on your eyes or your private. I was like, so I can't put on my. I was like, that's so fuck. I got to put it on my private parts. I was
That's
like,
where I got stung, bro.
I was like, fuck, my dick is gonna be fucking tweaking for the next 3 hours.
Dude, okay, so there are different flavors of toothpaste, and now there's different flavors of Man of War cream, basically.
Oh yeah, no cap. I'm gonna tell them. I think they only spearmint Man of War cream because I was like, what? You don't have anything that doesn't burn like that? Like
you got something that's like a chocolate or something? I'm not a fan of mint.
I was like, do you guys don't have nothing that fucking sting? Fucking nothing like less cooling effect. And it's like, oh no, this is the only cream. I was like, fuck. I guess I'm gonna have to manhandle it. And I had a surf contest that exact same day. It was my last year doing it too. I'm pretty sure I didn't do it. I was like, took a nap after that. On that note, I was like, I'm gonna go to sleep. It was like I was laying in the water for like 6 minutes just to show.
So what exactly are you trying to do with the surf videos? Are you trying to turn this into like grow a YouTube channel out here or something?
Yeah, I'm thinking like maybe make a YouTube channel. I'm contemplating it. Like I want to see how it does. So far I got 455 views, so I guess that's it could be better. I ain't like I was just expecting it to be 1,000.
I think putting your character in it is perfect. I mean, you got charisma for it, dude. You got you tricked me, and I usually revert back to this story, but Michael, I guess gave you money for some recreational usage, and you were like, I'm going to take you for some sights around the island. So we're like walking around from the hotel, and I'm like, oh, cool. I'm going on a trip with my cousin. We're going to walk around and enjoy Hawaii. We walked, I don't know how freaking far.
Like 6 miles.
Dude, it was long as shit. I'm like, where's he fucking taking me? And like, we get to this place.
Yeah, I
and
know.
you're like,
I feel kind of bad.
yeah, you should feel bad. I was like, you were like, it's down the corner. I was like, all right, let's go. And then I went like next thing 6 miles later, walking by zoos and shit. I'm like, where are we? And you go, stand here. I'm like, okay. And then you just walk over across the street. Some guy comes up on a bike, high fives you, walks away. And you're like, I got it. And I'm like, we went all the way for a drug deal. And you're like, what'd you think we were doing? I was like, I thought you were taking me around the fucking island.
We just killing 2 birds, 1 stone. That's what I call that. You know how we do. Fucking we just doing what we gotta do to fucking, you know what I mean? Like we just on the rail. I was thinking I was like, shit, it ain't that far. I'm gonna tell you something, that lie got me in trouble a lot of fucking times. I swear. I skated from the west side of the island to the south side of this island, which is, let me just say, like good 16 miles probably. Yeah, it was good fucking good sum. It's summertime, broad day, like 3 and 2, 1, 2 in the afternoon with a surfboard and a backpack full. So
dude, that island is so confusing though, because me and you took a trip to the pineapple maze with my mom, and she was like, I'm gonna go this way, and you're like, if you go this way, it's faster. She's like, no, I'm gonna go where the GPS is telling me to go. So then you're like, all right, and you just sat there quiet. Dude, we were gone for like an hour and a half on like a 20-minute drive because she went the wrong way and went all the way around to the other side of the island, went the long route around. So I'm like,
yeah, that's what I was about to say. She went the long way.
I'm like, it's great we're fucking spending a vacation inside of a freaking minivan, to get some pineapple. Dude, I'm not gonna lie though, that pineapple ice cream is pretty good.
Yeah, that pineapple yogurt, like froyo is fucking on point. I swear, like that's like the only reason why I still go there to this day is for that. Even like everything else, like maybe go grab a couple pineapples if the time is right. You know what I mean? Like for holiday season type shit. Like they got all those pineapples. Fucking, they wouldn't notice couple missing crap. You know what I mean? Like shit, fucking. Mother Nature provides. Let me.
Dude, it takes 48 months to grow one of those things. I had no freaking idea about that. I was like, damn, you know how quick I tear up pineapple? I ate 2 in a day one time, and all the acid
Oh,
in my
yeah,
blood.
your mouth was raw.
Dude, my mouth like looked like I was Two-Faced, dude. My whole side of my face looked like I got fucked up with a frying pan. I was like, what
Yeah.
happened?
You know what's funny? You know something funny? Oh shit! I did that one too many times. I swear, I would eat so many fucking pineapples that my tongue felt like gonna fall out. I swear, I'm the fucking pineapple man. I swear, bitches be calling me pineapple and shit. They be like, "Fuck you, yeah, I should name you pineapple because fucking you from Hawaii, you love pineapples. Fuck, you eat like fucking 10 of those bitches in one day. You be fucking."
This is a big debate. Do you think that it goes on a pizza?
Uh, that's a really good. I'm a thing. I like. I'm a type of person like yes, it's a Hawaiian thing. Everybody claims, but I like my pineapples nice and chilled. I don't do 100. I like my pineapples nice and chilled. I mean, I don't mind it on my pizza. Like if I actually did get them on pizza, I'm not gonna be like, fuck this pizza type vibes. I would still eat it. Maybe pull off a couple. Maybe just have to keep one on each slice or something. I'm saying like I ain't much of a warm pineapple type guy.
There's
Maybe
a,
pineapple upside down cake. I'll munch some of that, but
there's a couple foods I just won't eat. One's like mayo, and then when we went to
yeah,
Hawaii,
I hate mayo.
you warned me about poi, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What's poi?" And you're like, "It's just lard, basically, but it's the same consistency of mayo." And I'm like, "This is just like eating cum. It's not fun. This is not
Yeah,
something
on
I
the
want to
real,
enjoy."
I don't like the bland taste. I hate the bland taste of poi, and that's like a real kind of fucked up thing for me to say coming from Hawaii, and I should love poi. Don't get me wrong, I do eat it. Like, I mean, I go over to people's house, and then you have no choice, but you have to eat it in a way. They're like, "Oh, eat it." You know what I mean? They give you hand you the
You're
bowl,
sitting there
and like this,
smiling and just
that,
throwing it on the
no,
floor, like, "Nope, nope."
no, I'm actually take a couple bites. You know what I'm saying? Out of like respect. So I'm saying because like that is like one of those things they standing there watching. So I'm saying they standing there watching. Like you'd be like,
Hmm.
oh, you mean you have to be like, oh, I love it. Like on the right. You know what I mean? Like with the right poo poos, aka like appetizers, right munchies on the side. Like you know what I mean? You could cover the bland. You know what I mean? You kind of mix it up. You know what I mean? Like make it to where you don't notice.
Drown it in ketchup. That's all you gotta do is drown it in
Yeah,
ketchup.
I wouldn't put ketchup on poi. Let me just. One thing like you said, I fucking hate mayo sour cream. That type of shit, no slide of me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
dude,
I
that
love
stuff's
Mexican food.
disgusting.
I hate sour cream. People trip. They're like, "Oh, you love Mexican food, but you don't like sour cream." I'm like, "Nope, I'm a sour cream free nigga. I ain't doing none of that trip. Like
Freaking
that shit
cream cheese
disgusting."
too. I'm not a big fan of
Yeah,
cream
cream cheese.
cheese.
Negative. Yeah, me neither.
Pop Pop made a bagel one time for me and Michael, and
Yeah, put
mine
cream
was
cheese. He did that to me last time I was over there.
I couldn't eat it, and he was like, "What? You're gonna waste it?" I'm like, "I can't eat it. It just doesn't taste good." He's like, "Dude, it's butter." I'm like, "It's not butter. This is
Yeah.
the devil's lettuce. That's what it is, but not in the good way."
The devil's lettuce. That's funny. That's funny. I'm gonna tell you something. That is like a good. I'm gonna tell you. I swear they did that exact same thing last month. They was like, oh, you and bagels. In the beginning, you mean like you said, I like butter on my bagel type vibe. You mean I expect you mean like if somebody's gonna put like give me sour, like you put fucking cream cheese or you mean anything accessorized, like give me strawberries, anything. Ask at least I'll think.
Yeah,
They come like well wait like a bunch of like whipped cream or what? They're not whipped cream, but what is that called? We were just talking. I just remember lost.
cream
Cream
cheese.
cheese, yeah, cream cheese, yeah, cream cheese on. I was like, oh, I remember saying thank you. I was like, can I eat this though? So I was like, I walked it over to my little. I was like, Josh, eat this for me. I'm pretty sure.
That's
Or I was
funny
like, all right,
because
my little brother goes.
I'm the only one that won't eat it there. So I guess they just expect to put it on it for everything. Because Shiloh eats it, Michael eats it. I'm like, no, it's
Yeah,
just
nah, man. Me neither. Me and you, Willie. We mean the black sheep over there. I
yeah.
ain't needing no white cream. Don't crip. Like I don't
No.
even like whipped cream like that. The only fucking cream I would get is that pussy cream.
Oh my
You know
god.
how we do.
Well, it's crazy because like a lot of ways, like I mean, you're only like 6 months older than me, but like we connect on like a pretty like crazy level. Like we have a lot of stuff in common. I mean, that hike, dude, it might have been 6.5 miles though, but it did not feel like that at all. Like we were just talking it through the
Yeah,
whole
talking,
entire
having a
time.
good time. Yeah, on the
Yeah.
real, I know that's what I was saying. That's on fucking voyage. I was like, I was tripping that you handled it in the way because like after I started walking, I was like, fuck, I should just left him back. I could have done this on my own, but I was like, he wanted to like, I feel like he had the energy. So I'm saying he probably wanted to see the sights. So like, I don't know. I like it probably might have been a little too much for Mike, but I was like, he's still young, but he could keep up with me type shit. So I was like, fuck. You was like, keep
We
it up.
fueled up. We fueled up on Spam Musubi, dude. We walked into the station. You're like, check this out, and you start putting them in your pants. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna eat that. You're like, bro, it's wrapped in zip. It's whatever the clear foil. It's wrapped in that. I'm like,
yeah,
all right,
plastic, a plastic wrap.
you are family. I guess I could eat from right there. I don't know.
Yeah, nah, you know what I'm talking. Like I said though, those fuckers are wrapped. I ain't tripping. Like I did that because that's just the way we do shit. I ain't even. I own the bitch. Crap. They're
Yeah.
looking now. I walk in stores. They have like 6 of them following me. I'll be like shit. I'm like fuck, chill out. Don't worry. I ain't doing nothing. I
We
just
got
laugh. I just start
You
laughing.
brought up a good point though about like not really having to eat. I'm like, you're doing a lot of physical work, but once you're out in the water and you're out like just out doing stuff, you don't get hungry at all. Like if you're just sitting around all day, then you get hungry. But like I feel like once I'm moving and like I'm going to stores, if I'm just
Exactly.
out skateboarding or something, I don't get hungry forever, dude. It's like playing video
No,
games. You just
exactly. It's kind of like pushes back the hunger. I'm like that too. Like, I like that's one thing about me. I like people are like, oh, what we eat before we go sure, and I'm like, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm the type of guy like, I'm maybe you mean to eat an apple, and I don't eat apples. You know what I'm saying? Like, or like, I'm just trying to put like if I'm gonna eat
really,
something, I'll make something.
you don't eat apples. You don't eat apples. Okay, well the last time I went to Hawaii, we got a thing of apples, and some guy kept coming downstairs to grab an apple.
Yeah, I mean, I like apples. I mean,
You told
it's just like
she said
I
you're
mean, I don't eat them like that. I only eat them when I'm starving, and like that's you know what I mean, like you know what I mean, that's like my go-to munchie when I'm like needing to eat something. I'm like, fuck, what is
my mom
good right now? And I can
straight up called you out. She goes, man, you're really hungry for apples, and put the emphasis on an apple. And you're like, yeah, I really love to try and keep healthy. And you walk right out the door. I'm like, you notice how he never eats it inside?
on the real. You know what's the funniest part? Because when I came back, I remember getting my fucking ass scolded. I remember I got back out there, it's like, it smells like pine cones. And I was like, at that point, I was like, yup, it's pine cone season. I just got some fucking pine cone fucking
Look,
mint gum.
I
Oh,
mentioned
I was
this
like,
with
oh.
Corey, and I mentioned this with Uncle Rob too. When I smelled Uncle Rob recently, I was like, every time I smell you, I think of Thanksgiving at my mom's house. And then you realize it's from all the times they smoked on the porch and came inside. So now
Yeah.
pot is a nostalgia feel for me. So I'm like, I immediately think grandmoms. I immediately think Christmas time. I immediately think all these things. And it's like,
I know what you mean.
I'm glad that freaking happened.
Yeah, on the road we did have some fucking good times though. We did on the like. I'm happy that I get to show you show you the island. You know what I mean? You and Mike Bode and like you know what I mean it was fun hanging. Like you know what I mean, too bad I couldn't hang with you more. Like last time I went up there, we hung out for like that 10-15 minutes, which is you know what I mean was like fuck kind of bummed. You had to go to work or whatever. But next time, fuck, we definitely kick it. If I go there, you come here no matter.
What's really weird is that like even though we kind of like rarely talk, we still have like this like connection. Like I know it's a family thing, but it's like more on the aspect of like I mean we really never spent any time before that giant ass hike we did. Maybe we
Yeah,
were little kids or something, but it was like
I
nothing.
know
Like
what you mean though.
yeah, shooting the shit like we're best friends or something. Like
Yeah, no, exactly. You know what it is though? I'm the type of guy. I give everybody a chance. You know what I'm saying? Until you do me wrong in a way, like so I'm saying, that's the reason I like. And I fucked with you because like you said, we family. Like, and you're a cool ass cousin. Like, shit, I'm be Ohana with you. Like, we always had great fucking time. Like, I ain't capping. Like, dude, that walk. I'm gonna tell you something. Nobody would have been fucking down. Like, I'm gonna tell you, even if I fucking bullshitted them into it.
I
Like,
got tricked into
even if
that one. I was so
yeah.
freaking clueless on what was going on until freaking I saw you walk across the street and that guy high five you. I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is something different than I thought it was. I was tricked. Now somebody's buying me ice cream.
But I'm gonna tell you something. But you did get to still see the island though. So I'm saying I showed you
Yeah.
giraffes and all the zoo. Like you was probably just like, fuck, we're at the zoo already. You're like, fuck.
I passed the zoo. I was like, is that a fucking zoo? You're like, dude, they got Komodo dragons. I was like, Komodo dragons.
Yo. They got, yeah, dude. That's my dude. That's like I always walk past that place and fuck. I just like I like animals. I'm fucking I mean like all kinds. I like the wild ones a little bit better. To be 100% honest, I like hopefully one day own a fucking monkey or two. So I'm saying
I
they
want
can
a
roll up with
sloth, dude. Are you
daddies
kidding
for
me?
me. monkeys that roll up fatties. That'll be the fucking, that's the goal right there.
So the second thing was I got introduced to Jack in the Box, which we don't have on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And it was right by the hotel. And on the GPS, it says it's like 5 minutes by car. But instead of cutting the bridgeway, I was with Shiloh, and then Josh was leading us. So Josh was like, "Oh, you go this way." We went the long ass way around, and then we run into you guys, freaking walking back with an apple in hand. And, we go over to Jack in the Box, and nobody got anything. I was like, we just walked for 45 minutes the long way around, and nobody's getting Jack in the Box. Somebody's getting fucking Jack in the Box. Like, it's going to be me. It's going to be somebody. And Shiloh's like, "Oh, I'm diabetic." I'm like, I don't care. You're going to spike up an insulin right now. Somebody's going to take a freaking Jack in the Box to the face.
You're like, fuck, I'll get you a small pack of fries. You better fucking get something,
right.
Shiloh. That's funny. On the real, I know what you mean, though. I'm like, I did some pretty ridiculous walks in my time. Like, on the real, I love Jack in the Box, though. That's the thing I did, and I still do. It's just like, I swear, fast food even just doesn't feng shui with me like that. So I'm saying, like, upset my fucking stomach. And also, I know it ain't good for my body. And I want to be fit. I want to, like, you know what I mean? My goal, like, if it wasn't for Corona, fuck, I would be like, no cap, like 145. I would have gained, like, I wouldn't say gain 20 pounds smoking some shit, but I'll say like good 10, 16, even like good maybe 16 pounds more. Even like I would, like my high goal, like 16, like put muscle on, you know what I'm saying? Like I can, like one day me working out, 2 days with me working out, I look even like so much difference, like in a way. So I'm saying, like, and because I do it like 3-4 times in a day, like fuck, like it means real shit, like. I don't live, but when I do, I put fucking sweat and effort into it. Like, and I want to be, I want to become fit. Like at the same time, though, like I want to become a good surfer. I want to become a rapper. I want to be a comedian. I don't know what the fuck I want to be.
Well, let me give you a little bit of advice on the weightlifting thing. I mean, that was my every day for 8 years. You know me, constantly cranking out, going to the gym and stuff. Like that's no bullshit. You can confirm I've done that. But what COVID really kind of showed me was you don't need to kill yourself in the gym. You need to find what you want to do. Like, I mean, surfing is an amazing form of therapy, but it's something you can turn that into something. You get to experience so much. The only thing I really can experience is the confines of a weight room. I mean, I'm not outside and stuff. Even after I'm there for like an hour, I used to do 2 to 3 hour workouts, the whole length of a podcast, because it is still my form of therapy. I still do it every day. My new job is at a gym. I work at one, but I'm also not going to, kill myself over it too, because dude, I want to experience the fucking world, man. I got some money saved up. I planned on traveling. I want to come out and visit you, stay for a little bit. I mean, are you in California or are you in Hawaii still?
I'm in Hawaii right now.
I was about to say, because, like, I mean, I've talked to people from all over from doing this podcast. Me and you, like, in California, I know famous comedians. I know some people that own restaurants. I know businesses and stuff where, dude, I want to show you these people I've met, these experiences, people that I know you would realize, like, holy shit, like, there's some good stuff out here. And from what I've started doing this thing to where I'm at now, like, you start to realize, like, there's some pretty cool shit out there if you go looking for it. And you've seen it, dude. You've seen it from traveling, doing dirt bikes, traveling out to different surfing competitions and stuff. The world is a crazy ass place, and nobody really gets to leave their home. Most Americans and most people really kind of stay confined to their shelter. And it's like, dude, there's a vast ocean of information out there.
Oh, fuck yeah. Like, I'm going to tell you something. That's the thing, too. I'm the type of person, like, I do, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the type of person, I like information. You know what I mean? Like, give me the fucking, if it's good information or like something that would benefit me or like help me in a way, or like will widen my broad spectrum, like how you just told me about the weightlifting thing. Thanks for even like for the tip. That's like, I agree with you in a way. Like I do lift, you know, I do punch heavy bag a lot, like cause like you know, I've been trying to do shit. So I'm saying I've been trying to like keep my mind like you mean into something. Like also too, like I said, I got reef rash, so like I don't mind surfing with the reef rash on my stomach. I don't mind, but like I got reef rash on my feet, so like walking around in the parking lot. So I'm saying, so it turns into like a whole goddamn alcohol swab sesh after, like, you know what I mean, like cleaning and like shit. Like I like doctoring is like a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather just lift weights and fuck around. You know what I mean? Play like punch bag a little, like break sweat like that.
Yeah.
But like you also said though, like information is a very fucking, you mean, a great thing. That's like one thing about like people don't understand, like fuck, like you mean like the information is knowledge. That's what I was gonna say. Fuck, man. Information is knowledge. You mean the more information you have, the more knowledge you have in a way. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing about me. Like, people, like, look at me like, oh, you fucking didn't graduate high school, with you. Fuck you. You be like, fuck you. I
No,
didn't
dude,
fucking
see,
graduate high school,
that's
but
a
I,
big thing. I went to college, dude. I'm probably the first one in our family to go to college and get a degree. That doesn't mean shit to me. You know what's hanging above my college degree is my ordained minister's license under the United Church of Bacon. That's right. I'm an
yes,
ordained freaking minister, bro, in a freaking phony baloney church only because of the fact of I could do that. That
yeah,
degree means more to me than my college one because knowledge is based on experience and knowledge is based on information. And when you receive that,
exactly.
it's the same thing you receive when you're out there surfing and you come across some dude you've never met before and you strike up a chat. He's going to give you
Yeah.
stories. He's going to give you a conversation and something that's going to lead to something deep. I mean, fuck. We were talking and you're like, you want to go see penguins? I'm like, what? And you show me this hotel that has fucking penguins. I'm like, penguins in Hawaii. Penguins in
Oh,
Hawaii.
you know that penguins in Hawaii. You know how we do. Fuck, I got the fucking. You know, I got the spots. That's what I'm saying. Like, I like showing people. You know, what I mean, I like opening people's eyes to like, give me this place. Yeah, like we're in a little place. I mean, like a little fucking little rock in the middle of the ocean. I'm gonna tell you something. Like, I know every. You mean like nook and cranny, you know, where like I know like fucking great surf spots that I could surf by myself. Or I could go great surf spots to surf on with 100 people. Like, you mean know have to line up. You mean have combos the whole time. Like, I know a lot of people. Like, you mean all around. Like, I fucking see ex girlfriends. I see all kind. Like, people pull up on me. Like, "Nee, you remember me?" And I'm up there like in my head like, nah, cuz. You hear me? Like, I'm like, yeah. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like, where from again? Just because I'm like, you know what I mean? I remember
Hey,
fucking.
you, what's going on? Like, hey, it's
I
been
was just,
what,
and
like,
I'm like, fuck. I'm like, shit. This fucking happened a little too often. All right. You know what I mean? I'm about to start walking around with a mask. This is pre-corona now. I'm about to start walking around with a mask on in this bitch. Like, people like fucking like give me my piece. Like, shit. Like, that's the thing about me too. Like you said, like surfing is a good like place to see, meet, and all that shit. Like meet other people. But I personally surf like, you mean for myself. Like, you know what I mean? Like for my mind. You know, like my mindset. Like, how much I have so much knowledge. Like I said, I ain't graduated high school. How much I probably like if you guys went back and look at my fucking school record, you guys probably would trip that I'm this like, you know what I mean, I'm like, you know what I mean, I could write a full sentence in a way. Like,
bro, you're talking to a kid that got straight F's in school, and my parents moved around so much they never had our address, so a report card had to get sent home with me, which I would just leave in my backpack. And then
oh, I know
my
that feeling.
parents would change their phone number because they would get new phones, and I gave the school my phone number, so when they called, I just wouldn't answer. I mean,
Yeah.
I learned the tricks of the trade, but what's interesting is when you spend a lot of time with your thoughts and you start to experience, like from me experiencing from talking to different people and from you experiencing just going out and living a whole bunch of different, scenarios, surfing constantly, you realize that that's surfing. Same thing for me with weightlifting. It's just a mind clear. Like, it's where you can focus on what do you want to do with your life? What's the problems that you need to overcome? And it's like a stress relief for the day. I mean, what do you want to see yourself doing in a couple of years? Like, do you have an idea of what you want to do? Are you going to take surfing seriously here? Because I mean, you do the competitions and all, but I mean, you got skill for it, man.
Thank you. That means a lot. I I the situation with that is it's like I said, I wanna be like, you know, I wanna be a pro surfer. Like, that's like, you know, I love surfing to the extent that like I wouldn't mind. You know what I mean? I would like revolve my world, like my world, my life, everything around surfing. And that would make me happy. I would be happy doing it. It's just like this Corona shit made it to where like the money, you made money problems everywhere. So I'm saying, and surfing was already a money problem sport. So I'm saying, so like now it's like, I mean, contests and shit not going on, like fucking sponsors and probably gonna be fucking me closing down. So I'm saying, like, less people to have like on your board type shit. It's gonna be fucking like people. It's gonna be like fighting. It's gonna be kind of like being in the pin in a way. You have to fight like dog eat dog world. You're gonna have to like. You mean, don't get me wrong. Like you said, I can surf and I'm not bad at it. Like, so I'm kind of like I'm like kind of like you. I mean, I'm kind of like thinking like, fuck, it's possible. Like, I was thinking like rapping was, you know what I'm saying, like, is a thing, but like I hate rap. Like, you know, all the fucking internet beef. You know what I mean? Like, everybody like fucking do that shit. Like, I ain't with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's
if
the
you want
world
beef, pull
today,
up in
dude.
person. You
It's
know what
the
I mean? Though, like,
it's the
you know what I
world,
mean?
dude.
Like, people like, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. I want to be a comedian. Like, But then I'm gonna need to go to acting school, even like there's something like that, or I'm gonna need a manage, like even like a manager of some sort to get me into these fucking comedian shit. You know what I mean? Like to at least make it worth it. I don't know. Like it's a
For a
lot of shit.
world that really stresses the fact of creativity, they
Yeah,
don't give it they don't give you much room to work or much room to grow when you do have the creativity. I mean, for some
yeah,
like us, for instance, being 22, in our 20s or whatever, there's a thing that's put on top of our heads that we need to age and we need to hit this mark and we need to have a
yeah,
401k and all this stuff. And it's like, well, how hard is it going to be to actually do something for yourself when you're still trying to figure out what you want to do and all that pressure that just hits on top of you? I mean, I experience it every day. I'm walking out like, what do I want to do with my life? What's this? What's that? And it's like, you're supposed to experience. You're just supposed to try and find it. Hopefully you find it sooner rather than later. But if you feel like what you're doing right now is the perfect thing, is what you feel like you're placed at, and that's what you should be doing, dude, because you're going to get hit with that wave of, oh shit, I want to do this. Oh shit, I want to do
yeah,
that. Like, I don't want to turn this into a career, but at the same time, be cool if it did. But at the same time, not banking on it. I'm just trying to live a life where I can make it to the next day. I could do it the next day. And I don't feel like I'm selling my soul to anything.
yeah. I know what you mean. Like the truth is, like I wanted to make a clothing company. So I'm saying I wanted to make a clothing company or flipped houses. That's like my even like my end goal type shit. But like now, like fuck, we have to. You know what I mean? Like we're barely allowed to go into these fucking stores, and then we have to wait in line to go into these stores and like wear masks. All this bullshit because some people want to create some bullshit in the lab. So I'm saying, like, and like pass it to us like it's a fucking joke. Like fuck, they so lucky I didn't fucking shit.
You know what I think
Like,
you would be really good at? I honestly think you would be very good at maybe starting up like a conservation thing. Cause I mean,
yeah,
much of you notice, being around in nature all, around in Hawaii and everything is the
yeah,
reef, dude.
yeah,
You told me very strictly about respecting the reef. And from my first
yeah,
time going to Hanama Bay to my second time going to Hanama Bay was a
yeah,
complete shift in only those couple of years. But not only the conservation of the land, but like the beauty that it holds, dude. Like hopping off that airport. I always talk about the graffiti on all the buildings out there are
yeah,
fucking insane. Where it's like there's creativity here, but like it's being forced out, man. It's like you
yeah,
really a place like that, like Hawaii, is like the
yeah,
bear of where it's basically 2008 in America. You might get stuff before we do, obviously, but you literally it's like the times nobody's really worried about being on top of each other, at least when I was there. And over here it's just compact, everybody's pissed off all the time. It's like, man, we need some like free flowing kind of energy going on.
yeah. And like you said, like yeah, this place is paradise. Like don't ever get me wrong. Like I love it here. Like I surf. You know what I mean? I surf like fucking. I get like I got so many barrels that if I died today, you know what I mean I got enough barrels of. You know what I mean like fucking make me happy in a way. I'll probably you know what I mean like shit. I'll you know what I mean die happy with a smile on my face with all the barrels I got. So I'm saying like the ocean made me happy. Like I'm gonna tell you because one thing like you mean people come and go, but like you mean like you said, like the ocean. I love the ocean. The ocean always been there for me. Like in my most mentally ill fucking moments type shit. Like when I fucking like, I mean, I would just go surf and talk to my fucking self as a kid. Like shit. Like I like fuck. I ain't gonna pretend like I'm fucking insane. Shit. Like I know, but this is the thing though. I know I control myself. Like back in the day, I didn't. You know what I mean? Shit, like I was a fucked up person in a way. Like I'll do stupid shit all the time. Like you said, you see me jug how many fucking times? You know what I mean? I was the fucking bad older cousin influence. But fuck, like yeah, man, I probably told you I was like, don't follow in my footsteps because you
Yeah.
know what I mean. Shit, just I'm doing this because fucking keeps me right. You know what I mean? Like I
It
don't do
tells
that
me
shit no more.
I always bring up the point, like a lot of people, they brag in public and they cry in private. It's the fact of like,
Yeah,
we all got shit going on, but the people that sit there and act like their life's perfect or they act like they're better than people, I just look at them like there is so much going on in everybody's head. It's why I'm so like, I try and be as nice as possible when it comes to things. And I call bullshit out. If a dude's freaking out in a store or doing something and for instance, just the other day, I was at Food Line. A dude was standing in the doorway. I
yeah,
was trying to walk past him. He looked
yeah,
at me, and then he started walking slowly. And I'm
yeah,
following right behind him, like, come on, dude, I got to get back to work.
yeah.
And he just turns around and goes, 6 foot, motherfucker. I looked at him. I
For
was
real.
like, 6 foot, motherfucker. 6 foot, you speed the fuck up or get out of my way. And he goes, fuck you. And then he starts walking to his car. And I turned around. I was like, what the fuck's your problem? He just kept on walking. I was like,
Yeah.
it's people having this mentality just to want to
Think
start
they fucking
shit.
hard. You know what it
Yeah.
is? They think they fucking hard. I'm gonna tell you something. Like, I swear to God, like I like that's the thing about like people too. Like I'm gonna tell you, I don't give a fuck. Like Cali, East Coast, you mean Florida? I don't give a fuck where. Like fucking Canada, probably even. Everybody think they fucking hard. Like you know, everybody got that cockiness mentality, male, female. You know what I mean? I ain't fucking what's that called? Like I ain't against any gender. You know what I mean? Everybody cocky. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna think that's like human nature. Like to be cocky, like shit, like. And some people ain't, but like fucking, you know what I mean, some people are humbled. But like, I mean, like, but there's also the 99.9% that ain't. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna tell you, like shit like that. I'm gonna tell you, I go surf almost every fucking time I surf. I swear to God, I almost have to slap somebody's fucking head. Almost every fucking time.
I
I'm
feel
over
like
there
that when
like,
I go into a store. I just want to slap somebody. Everybody's always rushing
yeah,
around like,
I
can you hurry up? I'm
paddle
like,
out.
no.
I paddle out, and I'm just like I don't surf. Like I said, I don't surf like I used to. So people like, you mean don't recognize me because I'm like, you mean I'm a fucking haircut. Like, you mean like I last time they see me I had like long hair, whatever. Like, you mean, and I also too like I keep to myself in a way. Like, so fucking I ain't fucking went out there in a minute. Like whatever. Like everybody be like acting like they don't see me. Yeah, like act like they never seen me in their fucking lives or whatever. Like burn me out. I'm like. Cause you fucking know who I am. You be like, you know who the fuck I am. You better not burn me, stupid fucking go in. Like, fucking if I follow you and wring your neck, cause like people be like baffled. Cause fuck, I'm lucky I'm nice. I wouldn't even told you. I would have just fucking conked your fucking head. Like,
I think a lot of the times where like I try and keep to myself, like I don't go out and party, go out and drink with like a bunch of people. It's not that like I don't want to. It's just the aspect of like it's so much bullshit out there now, and it's hard to sift through the bullshit and try and find the reality in things. And it's like you got your own stuff on your own plate you're trying to deal with. It's like I just don't have any room for just, wasted time, I would say. Like I feel like that's a big thing for both of us is the fact of like we're trying our hardest here to do something. We're trying our hardest here to make something of ourselves. And it's like you're looking at everybody that's going out drinking and spending these nights. That's fun and all, but like what are they getting out of it? It's like, no, we're trying to make something for ourselves. So we're at a point where, you don't have to fight and struggle like we've seen before.
nah, on the real though, I really really do agree with that. I'm question, it's not too loud. I kill him. Like, nah, fuck, I had to come outside. I was sweating fucking bullets. I
Yeah,
was
you're
in
good.
the garage. That was the most like soundproof place in the fucking house. Like, otherwise you would have fucking heard yelling and all kind of bullshit. Fucking. But as I was saying though. Yeah, like I know what you mean though. Like on the real though, like that's a very good point though. I know like one thing about life, like fucking you mean like you said, like everybody got bullshit. Like you mean like for the people that you mean act like they don't got you mean like shit. I don't give a fuck. But I'm saying like the thing is about me though, like I'm a lot more humble. You mean I'm a lot more fucking like you mean like respect for her. Like you mean I don't start shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Well, I'm the type of person if somebody like starts shit, I bite my fucking tongue. I bite my fucking tongue. Like at times like even like back like with my ex girlfriend with you like they you mean hit me I don't do nothing you mean I know I'm a fucking man I know how to whoop you mean whoop a fucking ass like I ain't gonna do that like you mean like right like you mean that's just a man fucking thing I ain't gonna lay my hand on her like shit like maybe she deserves it but
There's
like
there's
you
so
know
little
what I mean like
time
I ain't
for
going to you know what I'm saying like I'm gonna punish her in the fucking bed so I'm like that type of there's no grip
there's
like I
there's
rail
look
the shit out of it no cap any bitch can try I fucking swear I changed lives remember that.
what
You put my
baffles
fucking tag
me
at the end.
what baffles
Baffle is
look
right.
what baffles me is the fact that like people can spend so much time investing into bullshit and not being true, and that's what I think me and you keep is like the fact of like just being genuine. It's a respect factor. You respect me, I respect you, and we go from there. You know what I mean? Life's already kind of full of bullshit. You don't want to create your own.
Exactly. Fucking exactly.
Well, look,
Especially in this day and age, 2020. Fuck like I'm over here having bullshit. Can I let my fucking cig crib?
yeah, you can't even get the lighter to light. I saw you struggling. That's what
Fuck.
life is, though. That's a perfect representation of life. Trying to light a cigarette and it's not lighting
In
because
the
your lighter
wind.
don't work.
In the Hawaiian wind. The fucking wind never like will give me a break. That's a good
Well,
point though. I agree.
but Nate, dude, I appreciate you for doing the podcast, man. I'm gonna wrap it up here, but I'm gonna make
Yo,
sure
guarantee.
I'm gonna link up your YouTube and everything to the channel so people can be able to find it as well and view your surfing
Yeah,
videos, man.
yeah, that's the thing too. I don't even make like I have a YouTube, but I ain't post nothing yet. So yeah, you may like put my Insta or something for now, and so I could you mean like tag it later, like edit it in
I'll
from
make
there.
sure to tag you, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah. Thank you, Killer. You have a good one, G.
Thanks, man. You too.